Just because it's an exciting technology doesn't mean it's a great investment. I'm Jack Otter, editor of Barrons.com. I'm here with Jack House, senior editor at the magazine. So Jack, reading this week's cover story on 3D printing, I was actually reminded of Ben Graham writing about the airline industries more than half a century ago.
You're not that old, though.
I am not that old. I've read the revised version with Jason Zweig. But anyway, so he said, this is awesome stuff. It's space age. You can fly. It's not a great investment.
Right.
And interestingly, he was right for about 50 years. Until recently, it was a lousy investment.
So we're talking about 3D printing, and for folks who don't know, that's this sort of additive or layering manufacturing technology where you can basically print a three-dimensional object. And right now it's fairly simple objects, but the thinking is as the technology grows, we'll make more and more complex things, and this could revolutionize manufacturing. There are a number of stocks out there that are pure players in this industry. 3D Systems, Stratasys, X1, and VoxelJet, and their stocks will soar.
People are very excited about this technology, understandably.
Our writer, Alex Yule, points out that these companies are more in this sort of consumer side, hobbyist side, more so than the hardcore manufacturing use. There you've got big companies like GE that are doing their own thing, their manufacturing process for a couple of parts. You've also got some private companies. So there's sort of a disconnect between the stock opportunity here and the excitement of the technology, and the stocks look very expensive right now.
But that's what's important. I mean, one of the VoxelJet was 454 times earnings. Now, that could move quickly. They only sold 2 units last year. They're very expensive, so sure, that number gets better quick, but still, it's pretty pricey.
My question is, if 3D printing is such a bright future, won't we be able to print other 3D printers, and then we won't need a company to make them?
That's really meta.
Maybe they'll print me and you to do this video.
I was scared you were going to go there.
They already have.
Yeah, we better not do that right now. Why don't we jump ahead to MLPs, which our readers are more interested in anyway. You wrote a story about 2 that actually look good.
MLPs are another pricey group, most of the group, because investors have gone after these big dividends, and they're looking for the safest names. So, for example, pipeline MLPs, which have very secure cash flows. And what I point out was, look, you've got pipeline MLPs out there that are 20 times earnings or more. I pointed to a couple of refiner MLPs. They're at 6 times earnings. And
these are downstream because they're the end of the line.
Northern Tier Energy, CVR refining. So these are going to be more cyclical. That's kind of what you want during an economic recovery. They are quite a bit riskier, and they're making great money now. That's not going to last forever. But at 6 times earnings, I think there's a real opportunity for investors over the next 2 to 3 years.
Anytime something is at 6 times earnings, either you got to run away or run toward it. There's either something going on there that's scary.
The distributions alone look like they could be 30, 40% or more of the stock prices over the next few years if you put those distributions together.
That's impressive. One more stock we'll talk about is Great Lakes Dredge and Dock. This is an interesting play.
I haven't looked at the dredging industry lately. Had you? I mean, this is an Englander special.
Actually, as a guy who kind of wishes he spent more time in the water, I have looked at dredging a little bit, and it's in dire need. I mean, you talk to any commercial fisherman, and you just get them started on dredging, they'll scream and yell because it's very dangerous. What happens is these inlets narrow. That causes the water as it rushes in and out to do very dangerous things to boats.
So Dave Englander points out for Great Lakes Dredge and Dock, there's a number of good things going on right now. There are repairs after Hurricane Sandy. There's a big project going on in the Panama Canal to make it bigger. You're going to have bigger ships, and you need some dredging work around these harbors, so that's more orders for their work. They have a 40% market share for dredging here in the U.S. So
we could become an energy export nation soon. We'll need much bigger ports if that happens.
Yeah, a lot of dredging going on. So I guess time to get less excited about 3D printing, a little more excited about what's going on below the sea level.
Good choice. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks.